My name is Gita Bangera. I am currently the Dean of Undergraduate Research at Bellevue College and also the owner of Nirmal's restaurant. My background is that I have a PhD in microbiology, and I've worked in the field for, I hate to say how many years now, at least a couple decades. I am a compulsive learner. I feel like if I'm learning something, then what I'm doing is not wasted. It doesn't matter how much time it takes. If it taught me something, it's worthwhile. I feel I'm fairly strong-minded, usually not afraid to express my opinion. In the most important decisions of my life, I've been willing to trust my gut. I'm somewhat courageous. I chicken out of some things, but I'm willing to take chances on things. Over time, I've learned to also give people a second chance. And that has helped me because it sort of says, it also lets you forgive yourself when you make a mistake. That I just did that because I had a bad day. It's like, to give yourself permission to be wrong sometimes, to not be so rigid on yourself. So you have to do it both ways. By allowing that for other people, you also learn to apply it to yourself. I think, there are lots of things you build in life. I think the proudest achievement is that I have changed the lives of people. And that is the biggest achievement you can have. And the more people you have touched that way, the more you have achieved in life. Some achievements get a lot of attention and some don't. It's easier to celebrate women's achievements in certain fields. So anywhere where it's an appearance, there's a lot more attention to that. Anything which is more achievement oriented probably doesn't get enough attention. And I think it also, anytime a woman's achievement sort of threatens the status quo, sometimes that doesn't get celebrated enough. It's easy to get down on the US. It's very easy to say there are these problems, women aren't treated well, and they're immigrants, and there's racism. But honestly, there's a reason why we are here. With all its flaws, this is still one of the best places in the world to live. There is still, I feel really, the respect I've gotten in my workplace here. The fact that I am in the position that I am in as a dean at Bellevue College, that says a lot about them respecting what I brought to the college. And I do feel like I get respected for that, both as an immigrant and as a woman. While we should talk about what's wrong, we should also step back and celebrate what's right. Nobody gets to where they are without help. If I'm here today, it's because I just was incredibly fortunate to have the right parents I was told when I was age 4 that I was going to be a doctor. That kind of expectation setting can have an impact on you. People think of it as pressure, but it's also what it tells you is you can achieve this, right? So I had parents who never stopped pushing me in that direction. And then I met my husband, who is probably my biggest cheerleader. To find a partner who celebrates your achievements it's very hard for a woman without that to succeed. My mother-in-law and my sister-in-law are probably some of the people who are proudest of me. They support me all the way through. I've been very fortunate in having just great mentors. And then I work very, very, very hard. I think that's a really important factor, and I think it doesn't get said enough. Okay. It's important to work smart. You hear about working smart, but in the end, it's elbow grease. In the end, you have to work your tail off. Whether you're a man or a woman, but it's especially true if you're a woman, is you just have to work your tail off. My whole life, I've seen strong women, and I think that's where my learning comes from. It's like I've learned from them all the way through. As I said, I grew up in a house full of women. My oldest sister practically raised me. We had six kids in the family. Every single one of them. And then when I married into a household, there are 3 very strong women there. I think, and that helps to have women who are smart, strong, sensitive, to kind of show you it's possible, that you can learn from them. And actually my sister-in-law is now visiting here, and she's sort of the picture of somebody who's so resilient, who can go through anything and smile at the end of it. And I have a friend who's battled some serious diseases, and you see the grace with which they handle themselves and how they continue to do, not just survive, but to really continue to do great things as they go through things like that. You have to seek out mentors. I've been very fortunate in having just great mentors, people who've pointed me in the right direction, who've not been afraid to tell me when I'm wrong, including my family. Kept me grounded, not to take yourself too seriously, but also not to put yourself down, not to value who you are, but not take yourself so seriously that you can't take a joke. So that's why I'm here, because I was fortunate, and I think what I give myself credit for in terms of, okay, what is it in me personally that allows me is, I think I use the phrase compulsive learner. I can't stop learning, and I take every single thing that happens to me as a learning experience. And when you do that, there are no wrong turns. The other thing, again, that doesn't get said a lot is when something happens, to step back and do some introspection. What went wrong here? Why did this happen? What could I have changed, and what was out of my control? And those are both important, because it's very easy to just beat yourself up and think everything's your fault. So that doesn't help either. And on the other hand, if you think everything is somebody else's fault, that doesn't help either, right? So you have to have balance of both those things. It's the same thing as sort of valuing yourself but not taking yourself too seriously, but it's enough introspection to say, what out of this was my mistake, and what was it that I couldn't have helped, right? So that balance, takes a village to get to this, and that's what it is.